Nigerians and friends of Nigeria on issues surrounding Nigeria from around the world. My name is Fi Yoda. Hello, good evening, viewers. My name is Fi Yoda. You're welcome to Ben Television, and tonight's show is Politics with KO. It's still that special edition about the missing Nigerian girls. The hashtag Bring Back Our Girls, and generally the state of the Nigerian nation. How did we get to this point? What can we do to help Nigeria? I mean, Nigerians in diaspora, Nigerians at home. And it's a special program, really, because we were able to get two Nigerians that work for Nigeria in different ways. We've got Tonye, Princewill, and Funmi Yoda. Tonye will be joining us in the program shortly. But first, Funmi Yoda is Nigeria's award-winning blogger, producer. She's been on TV. She's a pioneer. She pioneered this breakfast show in Nigeria that caught everyone's attention. And she's been off for a very long time, but we managed to drag her out of exile, self-imposed exile, as we'll say. And she agreed based on the fact that these are special moments for this country, and she needs to have her voice. So in the studio, we've got Funmi. Funmi, you're welcome to Politics with KO.
Hi, Kyrie. Thank you.
Yeah, so I almost had to blackmail you to get you out of your hideout, really. So why have you been off?
Television. I haven't found the project that I was interested in doing.
Okay.
And we do not have a television industry.
Okay.
And I like the idea of belonging to an industry where I can make a living without depending on the people's commonwealth, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, the back end didn't add up. And I'm trying to find a way to make it add up. When it adds up, perhaps you'll find me. But that doesn't mean that if I'm not there, I'm not empowering other people to be there, or I don't put other content on television. Besides, I did that show. Before then, I'd done another television show. So altogether, I had done sort of like from age 24 to 2008, I was on television almost on a daily basis. I was tired.
Okay.
I'd done everything, I'd said everything, I was tired. And you know, a lot of the things we were talking about seemed like a repetition. We were going over the same things over and over again. My soul was weary.
So you just thought, I need a break off this?
I needed a break. I also wanted to find the right thing to do. I think I might have found it. I think I'd be back soon. But I like to do things before I talk about them. I don't like to talk and then I'm not a branding generation, I'm afraid, sorry. Okay,
I know as a matter of fact that you're supposed to be in Abuja right now attending the West African, the World Economic Forum. And that is an important event. Why are you in the UK? You're not in Nigeria attending that event?
I mean, I am a YGL, that's the Young Global Leader. We had like a forum of world global leaders around the world of the World Economic Forum. And I do take seriously the charge. I mean, in the first instance, I wouldn't have been chosen as one if I didn't have a moral compass that, you know, was true to me. And my moral compass, first and foremost, is pointed in the direction of, you know, our human state and the generality of our people. I've always felt, I wrote years ago that I'm passionate about Nigeria. I love Nigeria. Perhaps I don't have a choice but to love Nigeria because I am Nigerian, but beyond the surface, I do love the people that we are, and I'm consumed by the state that Nigeria is in. I did not go to WEF. I support WEF. Let's not mix them up.
That's the World
Economic Forum. Yeah. You know, but I did not support the Nigerian government. I did not like the way the Nigerian government treated the abducted girls. Please stop calling them missing. They are not missing. They did not disappear. Somebody grabbed them. You know, so it was almost contemptuous the way the government was treating the people initially. I mean, I saw the parents weeping. It took the parents, if you notice, if you go back now, it took the parents coming out and all those pictures of anguish for people to start getting angry, for people to start reacting. But before then, I'd already gone crazy. They had murdered over 50 boys in their school just a month before that time. Murdered boys in school, and now they got the girls. So for me, and I don't speak for my colleagues. Most of my colleagues, you know, are upright, you know, people doing their best in their communities. But for me, Funmi Yoda, I could not be there.
But some would argue that maybe you should be at the World Economic Forum, which is something to promote Nigeria and Africa, and you could still make your point right there at the forum.
No, it's not actually to promote Nigeria and Africa. It's a meeting in Africa. They have it around different countries in Africa. It's just that it's been held in Nigeria this year. I have been to other editions of the World Economic Forum meetings in Africa, so it's not strictly that. And then I come from a school of honor that says that, you know, I'm a YGL, I'm not an outsider. To go, you know, and stand on the platform of the YGL and start throwing tantrum, I think is badly behaved. There's no reason to do that. I see nothing that I will gain by doing that other than maybe attracting media attention to myself. I am not interested in media attention to myself. I am interested in my country and how it will get better. You know, and a lot of energies was already going to us. I knew there were other ways for me to do this other than to, I would have thought that that was egotistical. You know, it would have been about me, and then it would have been dishonorable to the platform of WEF. You understand? So I couldn't do that. For me, that was not the way to do it.
Okay, we're going to bring in Tonye very soon. Let me ask you this. Okay, you're not in WEF, you're in London. What are you going to do, you know, for these girls? What are the alternatives?
I mean, we're doing a lot of things already. Incidentally, it was interesting. You know, at the beginning of this, I saw someone tweet, bring back the girls. And I remember, and it's there in my timeline, I remember saying, it is not the girls, it is our girls. So in a way, I take ownership of this. Now, aside from that, I started, you know, what my Change a Life Foundation. We have an office in New Zealand, we have in Lagos, you know, and I'm here half time in London. So in New Zealand already, Jumoke Giwa, the executive director of Change a Life, has got everybody. Everybody. We've been at it for a while. Everybody, they're delivering letters to all the stakeholders that matter in government, got school children, got community leaders. All of them are out. And in London tomorrow, there will be a rally. You know, I didn't join any rally before now because, you know, I was still hoping. I was waiting to go to WEF. I was still hoping that there will be some proactive reactions from Nigerian government. And, you know, because now a lot of things have happened, we are forgetting the order of things. But just before then was when there was that presidential chat. And I found it outrageous. You know, soon after that, they arrested Gbenga Sheson. Briefly. And, you know, I thought, come on, you know, I'm not, you know, going to do that. So I didn't go, so I didn't join any of those rallies. The next one will be the one in London tomorrow.
Which is tomorrow.
And I will be there.
Okay, so we're going to see you right in front of the High Commission tomorrow for 10 a.m.
Yeah, and let me tell you that it doesn't make me happy to have to do things like that. You know, I have no personal animosity towards the government or the people in government. You know, I don't know why things are the way they are. I don't know where there's some sort of, you know, I don't know why they react the way they do. And I suppose that part of it is the fear of the opposition doing this, doing that, and so you don't, I mean.
Okay. Well, for me, luckily we've got Tonye. Before we bring in Tonye, my producer has got a clip from I think Obama, William Hague. There's been a lot of international outcry, you know, about these girls, and the campaign from Nigeria has actually taken shape that it's like wildfire. And luckily we've got Funmi Yoda in the studio, and just take a look at this call for action from President Obama and UK Foreign Secretary William Hague. Then when we get back, Princewill has honors us, he's giving us, he's been here before, but he had to come back again because he's a Nigerian politician. He knows the system quite well. He's been very active in his state, Rivers State, which is an oil-producing area. So let's have the clip.
To such a vile organization. And it is an example of why we have set up the Preventing Sexual Violence Initiative. This is, as you know, I will be hosting the summit in London next month. This is to help countries, including Nigeria, improve the way they tackle the consequences of sexual violence, make sure that those responsible can be brought to justice, that the evidence is gathered, that those who are victims of it can be properly looked after in the future. And recently we persuaded Nigeria to support that campaign. So this in the future may help. Of course, it doesn't help today with the situation of these girls, and our hearts go out to their families. I called the Nigerian Foreign Minister when this first arose back on Good Friday in the middle of last month to offer help from Britain, to express our concern. Well, I don't think it's possible to go into the details of what help we could, precisely what help we could provide. But we have offered assistance. Our High Commissioner in Nigeria continues to offer assistance. We continue to discuss that with the Nigerians. So Britain is offering assistance. But of course, the primary responsibility for dealing with this rests with the Nigerians. And we hope they will do what is necessary to reunite these girls with their families.
We're sending in a team made up of our military and law enforcement and other experts. And we're very glad that Nigeria's accepted the help. Obviously what's happening is awful, and as a father of two girls, I can't imagine what the parents are going through. But this organization, Boko Haram, has been one of the worst regional or local terrorist organizations in the world. We've long sought to work with Nigeria on dealing with them, and we're going to do everything we can to assist them in recovering these young women. More broadly, though, we're going to have to really tackle a pernicious problem inside that country, an organization that has carried out ruthless attacks and killed thousands of people over the last several years.
That was President Barack Obama of the USA and British Foreign Secretary William Hague talking about bring back our girls in Nigeria. And
of course, happened here that the actions of
what is quite amazing from information we gathered was apparently the foreign government, the US government and the British government confirmed that they actually got in touch with the Nigerian government a day after the incident happened, offering every assistance in the world that they could. But they didn't hear back from the Nigerian government until the outcry, the campaign by ordinary Nigerians spread like wildfire. And President Jonathan finally, and we want to concede to the fact that at least he made a U-turn, said, you know what, we want you to come in and help us. And we hope this is going to bring in the required result. And we've got someone in the studio, we've got Tonye, Princewill. This is not about politics. So although he's a member of the Nigerian ruling party, he's here as a Nigerian. And he's a Nigerian politician. We just want to have his insight on what is happening back home. Tonye, you're welcome to Politics with KO.
Thank you, KO.
Yeah, you've been here before, and now it's a different occasion. Things are really, really bad. You heard President Obama right there saying, look, we're going to do all we can to find these girls. Why didn't we get this kind of assuring words from our government back home when this incident happened?
Kyle, I think it's a very good question. There's no doubt that the government could have done a lot better and could have responded a lot faster than they did. There's no doubt about that. But some of us are of the view that really what we should be looking for now is, rather than playing the blame game, while we're pointing our fingers at each other, we have young girls who are currently in harm's way, and we need to get them out of harm's way. So what we should be really looking forward to now is how do we get them out of this position? I mean, many countries go through sad situations, and when these sad situations happen, what the people of the country do is they come together, they unite, they find a way out of it. As far as I'm concerned, there are two sides to this, is good and evil. And I think the majority of Nigerians are good people. They abhor what has happened. They're very, very dissatisfied. And I see this as there's a silver lining in a very dark cloud, where Nigerians are speaking up. The social media, the Nigerian people have stood up and said enough is enough. And as a result of that, the government are listening. Should they have listened earlier? Of course. Could they have done it differently? Yes. But what I really want Nigerians to focus on, and of course the international community, is rather than demonizing the government, what we should be focusing on is demonizing the true demons.
Now, Tonye, if I might come in here, listening to you now, and I say this with every sense of responsibility. These are not the kind of words we hear from Tonye
Tonye is not the average piece. I didn't waste time leaving my house. Tonye, our house is on fire. We are not going to be pretending here. Tonye, you know that things are not the way they are meant to be. What has happened to over 6 billion, isn't it, that's been voted for security? Why do we have the sort of military that we have? What is going on? Of course, Boko Haram is the evil that we all must get behind. We will get behind our president if our president showed us, if we were transparent about some of this. Why is the military in the state?
I would love to be able to answer the question, but I don't think his question is for me to answer.
Yes.
And I think
what happens within the party? How does the party feel about what's going on?
Well,
what is the party's position?
I would love to be speaking on behalf of the party, but I can't. I can speak on behalf of good, common sense Nigerian people. And I don't see why anything like this should be a party political issue. It's not.
But for me, but the government.
I'm not speaking on behalf of the government. Let me explain something.
Tonye has a point. Tonye has a point here, though.
It's unfortunate.
The issue of us rallying behind the president, you know, even if we acknowledge that the president is not doing enough, it obviously needs help. He's saying that there must be a bipartisan approach.
I'm not even saying a bipartisan approach. A bipartisan approach is the least that we can expect. What I'm saying is that for anybody at a time like this to start talking about pointing the fingers at the PDP or Nigerian government, look, the time for an introspection, a post-mortem will come.
It's not a post-mortem. These matters are ongoing.
And
where is the $20 billion? Where is the 20 billion?
Excuse me, what 20 billion are you talking about? Are you talking about Sanusi's 20 billion?
So that's why I want to thank you.
No, so because Sanusi said that 20 billion is missing, that means 20 billion is missing?
I want him to be proven wrong.
I would love to. I would love to have this conversation with Kema Chikwe or Sanusi, but they're not here.
She came on television.
Since they're not here, it's a pointless conversation.
But Ngozi,
they're not here.
But Ngozi confirmed, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala confirmed that, 10 billion is missing, even if it is 1 billion.
No, you see, unfortunately for us, we are suddenly alive to the responsibilities of government and that government is corrupt. As far as I'm concerned, I was talking to somebody this morning that was saying we're in a dire situation. Nigeria has been in a dire situation for a long time.
Absolutely.
It takes this incident for people to suddenly become awake to it. Look, for people like me, I have no interest in politics. Why am I in politics? I'm in politics because at the end of the day, there is no reason, because I would rather be doing something else. But many people who should be doing politics are not doing politics.
Okay, let's just bring it back to the girls.
So let's go back to the girls.
Okay, let me bring it back to the girls. Now, you are talking about everybody united, we need to act as one. These are not the messages we hear from Tonye Okupe, from Labaran Maku, from what's the other one's name? Ruben Abati. There's Rena Mokiri. They're talking this.
Listen, I think.
Why is it that the government are not?
I think, unfortunately for us, the people that should be probably playing the politics are not playing the politics, and the people that should be playing the politics are doing something else.
So you admit
now,
that?
I'll give you a typical example.
Yeah.
This government responded very slowly to what was clearly a major problem. They missed the ball. They missed the curve.
Okay.
Now, I want to put it down to inexperience. Some people say they're insensitive. Some people say they don't care. Yeah. I don't think it's that. But
we're very experienced in tragedy.
No, but
too many people. Over 50
let me just, if you allow me finish. Yeah. What I'm thinking
of, the 300 people that have just been killed. I'm
hoping that they missed the ball, and I will now see an opportunity for them to prove that they're serious. Because Nigerians are watching. But you see, if we're looking at it purely from the political angle, I want to ask us a question. Are we suddenly saying that government has suddenly become corrupt? No. Government has been corrupt for ages, and people have been quiet. Does
that justify?
No, I'm not saying it justifies it. What I'm saying is that we have to recognize that if you see, I've been a complainer. I'm tired of complaining. I complained about Obasanjo, I got Yaradua. I complained about Yaradua, I got Goodluck. I complain about Goodluck, what happens? Okay. You give me somebody else?
Okay,
no, I don't want us to keep complaining. I want us to propose solutions.
Okay, before we propose solutions, I'm going to have my producer play a clip now so that we'll see this clip. And I want our viewers to watch this clip. And then I'll have the reaction of Funmi and Tonye to the clip. from some quarters, especially people close to the people in government, saying that no, girls were not missing. They are just mere propaganda to
That's the
discredit
point
the
I'm trying
government.
to make. I mean, I'm sorry to be so hard on Tonye because I know Tonye is not directly in government. And when I use government, I use it as a loose term.
Yeah.
The person responsible for the security of Nigeria right now is President Goodluck,
Yeah.
whom, to all intents and purposes, seems like a really decent gentleman. But he has failed tremendously, not only in handling this case with the girls, but almost every case. I repeat, 300 people were massacred this week.
Yeah, just after the
After the Chibok
incident.
case. I still haven't seen any sort of urgency. Why I'm talking like this is because we have for too long, and you are right in saying, oh, we complained about this. But the way they try and shut us up when we complain, actually, is they tell us, oh, fast solution, get behind the government. What am I getting behind? If somebody wants to lead me, they explain to me what the actions are and tell me what I need to do, and then I will get behind it. Not if a person is even in denial of my problems. That's on one hand. And then on the other hand, complaining, we're not complaining. Nigerians need to stop complaining. They need to start demanding. That was the difference. That is the difference, actually. They need to start demanding better leadership from all of their leaders. And I'm not talking about the ruling party, including the opposition. Where is the opposition in this? Where is the opposition in this?
I'll tell you where the opposition is. The opposition is quite happy because right now what is going on is that we have the social media, we have commentators coming up and taking the position that the opposition should have taken. So they're doing a better job of it. What I say is that the people who should be playing the politics are not playing the politics. And maybe the people who shouldn't be are the ones that are doing it.
You made a statement, I just want to clarify that. You said the opposition are happy. Are you saying they're happy about the situation in the country?
Well, there's no doubt that the president and the ruling party looking bad is not something that the opposition will lose sleep over. There's something I said earlier, and I think it's something that we should reflect upon. Now, I hear Funmi pointing the finger at the president, which is fantastic. I mean, of course, he has to take responsibility. There's no escaping it. But if we look at this man and this team that he's working with, you'll see that there are so many people who could potentially have been part of this solution that never played a role. From the DPO working your way all the way up to the governor of the state who was told, please, this should not happen here. Nobody's talking about them, which is okay. Everybody's talking about the president. Remove the president and go and put somebody else and hope for change. Now, the problem, this is the problem I have. We have young people out there. They're in this situation. Do you realize that if we find these women tomorrow, by God's grace we will, the thing can happen again? In the Niger Delta, under the reign of Obasanjo, a whole town was leveled. Yaradua, same thing. The problem has been there. Fortunately, it has come to the fore. My problem is, can we finally, for once, end this thing?
Okay, before I take the next phone
Instead
call,
of the complaint.
I want to take a phone call, but just have this in mind. President Jonathan praised General Buhari for coming out to say everybody should support the president for this fight against terrorism. Are you aware of that?
Of course.
Okay, and he's a member of the opposition.
And then I'd like to say something very quickly. Let's
but it's a rarity. It's not even common.
Let me say this.
It's abnormal.
Exactly.
It's news.
But it's a good thing it came out.
But that's what it should be. In this country, where you have the IRA,
let me say this.
It doesn't happen.
Let me say that there's a tendency to demonize protest, complaints,
that's wrong.
And dissent.
And I don't agree with it.
It's not. It is wrong.
I want to bring in our viewers. Good evening. Good evening. Where are you calling from, please?
Yeah, I'm calling from Kenya.
Okay, and what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Ade.
All right, go ahead, Ade.
Yeah, well, you people talk about opposition. We know that PDP don't want opposition to thrive in Nigeria. So there's no question about where is the opposition. The opposition is there, but they are not allowing the opposition to thrive. That's a fact. We have the right to complain as Nigerians. If things are not going right, we have the right to complain. In America, in Britain, that we have, things are not going on, people complain. So if corruption, insecurity is the order of the day in Nigeria, and you're saying Nigeria shouldn't complain, we should complain. Let me tell you what happened in that chamber. According to one head, they said the villagers saw those insurgents coming with trucks, with
yeah.
they are coming according to the villagers. intentionally, skip, or how that was, they intentionally skip those insurgents. Because according to what I said, there is only a soldier in Chibok that went when they had the call that insurgents are coming. But when the soldiers got to know that those insurgents are calling them, they went to power them, they intentionally skip. And we are so Jonathan has said we need to change this government. Enough is enough.
Okay, thanks for your call, and I want to bring this to Tonye's attention. There is state of emergency in Borno, and you've got people coming in trucks, military trucks, and we have Nigerian satellite, NICOM 1, NICOM 2, NICOM 3, that are supposed to be on surveillance, and you still say we shouldn't ask questions from the man.
We shouldn't ask questions. I mean, it's unfortunate that people feel that at this point, what we should be doing basically is blaming President Jonathan. Look, I believe he should take responsibility, definitely, but I think that we owe a responsibility to the next generation and to the girls that are currently in harm's way to focus our energies more on solutions rather than analyzing the problem. Now, we don't know that they came in trucks. We don't know that they came as 200. I don't know. You hear different reports. What is very important to recognize is that the same Nigerian army has been going around the world in Sierra Leone, in different African countries. In fact, I've heard the UN say it many times that anytime they have a problem in Africa,
they call
on the same Nigerian army. Now, this army, people forget, they've not even heard the reports that some of the soldiers, their children are inside these people that are missing. So we have a very awkward situation. Now, I would love to lash out because it is what took me into politics in the first place is just anger.
Okay, so would you say, are you saying
but unfortunately,
that,
lashing out does not solve the problem.
Are you saying excuse me,
no, they should.
Excuse me. Let us
but it does not solve the problem.
This government, and not just this government,
if you allow me finish, what I just wanted to land by concluding is just to simply say that when we finish pointing the finger and all whatnot, I tell you and I dare you, tell me the way forward.
Which is what I'm telling you. Listen, let me tell you.
The way forward.
I told you I did not come here for phone calls.
Funmi and Tonye, because we have to let I know, I understand.
No, exactly.
But that's democracy.
But I want to listen to people.
No,
he asked for solutions.
Let people tell us. Let's hear from people.
I am a television producer. I know how you can schedule these things so that it doesn't interrupt the conversation. And I am tired of people in government always saying that we are ordinary Nigerians complaining. It's not the people, it is not the opposition that's complaining now. If the people are complaining because they are powerless, when you say that they shouldn't, the only person they can look at
they're not powerless.
Is they are not powerless directly in being the one to take the decisions as to what to be done about the insurgency. The only power they have is to pressure their leaders, which is what they are doing now. You have converted the language of pressure into
lashing out.
Just lashing out. It is not lashing out. If this government had not been pressured by the people and the international community, we wouldn't even be having this gentlemanly.
I agree. That's fantastic. But let me tell you,
I'm going to overrule both of you.
This is the point I want us to get.
I want my callers to
beyond this
to be part. Hello, good evening. Can you make it quick, please? Good evening. Hello. Okay.
So this is let me drop this line
now.
Very
You
quickly.
Keep saying Nigerians don't prefer solution. Nigerians have asked for.
Let me give you a few
We
solutions.
have over 1
Let me give you a. Can I give you a
want
solution?
for me to come in on this.
Okay.
We've budgeted 1 trillion, almost 1 trillion naira on security.
But I was going to go to the solutions that we have contributed our commonwealth as a nation. We have entrusted this amount of money onto this government to help us solve that problem. We trust our president and his cabinet. Do you know that sort of thing? We've done what we need to do. Do you know the people only have 2 choices? They can actually entrust their security, their commonwealth, everything, their vote onto the person they have voted it onto. If they no longer have faith in that person, the only thing they can do is to recall that person or vote the person out.
Exactly.
So the solutions are pretty clear as regards the Nigerian people.
Exactly.
You know, so the solutions that you're now asking, are you asking us to sit down as a strategic committee of people in security to then discuss how we are going to solve this security problem.
No,
we as Nigerians are not, regular Nigerians are not qualified for that.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying,
react to that before I
no, it's very easy. What I'm saying is, I'm glad she added that point.
Yeah.
See, Nigerians have to stop sitting down and watching from a distance. Many Nigerians in diaspora feel powerless. They feel that because they're not in Nigeria, they can't do anything about it. No, you can. Phone somebody. If you want Jonathan out, 2015 election is coming. You vote him out.
Okay.
And vote somebody else in. But don't do what some of us did. We just wanted the person that was sitting on the seat out and wanted to replace him with anybody.
Okay.
Look and ask yourself, what would the other person have done?
But
in the meantime, between now and then, what I would suggest we do is, we feel like we can demonize the federal government and we'll make a good job of doing it.
Okay.
I don't see any problem with that because there are so many reasons they've given us to do that.
They seem to be making a good job of it.
No, that's what I'm saying. They've given people, people are taking advantage of the opportunities they've given them.
But
let me say something to you. Let me say something to you. We have a common enemy, and that common enemy is Boko Haram. And Boko Haram's political agenda is the removal of Jonathan.
Okay, before
let's not forget
then,
that.
let me take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello? Okay, if we still, do we have you on the line? Now, Tonye, you made a point. People, sometimes it's about the choice, isn't it? Like, government feel they are completely different from the people. People should not complain. People should provide a solution. People should give a solution. But when the president went campaigning around the country, the governors went campaigning around their state, they had a program.
Did they?
They gave a program. Is that so? Why should we be?
Was it the 7-point agenda?
No. Why should we be providing them a solution to a job they've been elected? You run a company, right? Would you expect your subordinates to be?
Look, I know too much about this. That's why you have to forgive me for wanting to interrupt you. Yeah. I did not support Jonathan in 2011. Yeah. When everybody came out and shouted Jonathan, I said no. And I'm from the Niger Delta. Yeah. And I said no. And the reasons I said no, I listed them. Now, for the first time, Nigerians came out en masse to vote. And many of them, including the ones complaining today, voted for him. Now, I can assure you that even if you had put Obama in this same Nigerian system that we have today, he would have fallen short. The system is bad. The system is corrupt. Yeah. It will not happen overnight. I have even said that 2015 is not change. 2015 is only preparation for change. I'm hoping that this will make many people angry enough to get involved in politics.
Let me throw that to Funmi. I agree with you. I actually agree with him about this. You know, I've been talking about this for a long time. And you see, my challenge is when you now start saying things like, pointing fingers or demonizing, you're actually contradicting yourself then. Because the system, I agree with you. The system is so broken. That's why when I said people must begin to hold accountable leadership at every level, in their churches, even their husbands and wives at home.
Everywhere.
You know, that's everywhere. So it's a system that's too broken. Our systems, our processes, our infrastructure, everything is broken. We need to rebuild it. And I also agree with you that we should be concerned about, if we want to throw out a certain government, we should think of who is coming next. But we're not. So part of that process is indignation, anger, and protest.
Okay, before then, let me get the caller in.
Nigerians have been protesting from day one.
No, when Nigerians protest,
we have been protesting.
Okay, let me get the caller in. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is Ade.
Okay.
I'm calling from London.
All right, quickly, Ade.
Yes, please. I don't know what our president is doing. For good 3 weeks, these children were missing, and there was nothing being done, which is very, very upsetting. Because if one of their children is among these people, they will give a ransom to get their children out of this problem. But what is that? Because these people don't have anybody. They are powerless. It is very, very unfair. It was because the British government announced that the Nigerian government did not invite them to come into our country to help us out. That was why after about 10 minutes, that was when we read about it. And now, on telling that the president has accepted
Okay.
We didn't know what happened to these children. Maybe they are alive or they are dead.
Yeah.
We only pray that they will be alive.
All right.
This is very, very
All right.
upsetting. I'm praying as I'm speaking now. So I pray God Almighty will be with these children. Wherever they may be, God will cover them with His blood and keep them alive so that we can find them.
Thanks so much, and thanks for the prayer. And Tonye, seriously, you should agree with me on this, that if you don't find out the faults of where things are going wrong, you can't find a solution. We shouldn't just support for the sake of support. I mean, let me give you this scenario. The Constitution of the country empowers only one man to control the Air Force, the Navy, the police, the SSS. And that man is the President and Commander-in-Chief of the country. How would you want a local government chairman to take over the job of the president?
Well, listen, we can discuss the flaws in the Constitution all day. I mean, we won't end. The problem I have, and you see, many people see me on the other side, they see me as a politician, or they see me, I've done no business with the federal government, I've conducted no transactions with them, they don't feed me. I'm here simply because I know I've been there before, I've been frustrated. And I have now taken the bull by the horns to get involved in politics. I have no business doing politics because I would rather be doing my business. But unfortunately, politics is too important to be left to politicians. Nigerians can complain, they can point the fingers. She said he has done nothing for 3 weeks. She's probably right. I don't know what he has or has not done. I can tell you that we've done nothing for 30 years. 30 years we've done nothing.
So this goes beyond Jonathan.
Yes, what baffles me is that this is all that has happened. I know that more things have happened, but what is baffling me is that this is all that has happened. As we speak, there is nothing that gives me confidence that will tell me that this cannot repeat itself. So what I'm saying is, can we please fix the system? And the way to fix the system is for some of us who are in diaspora or who believe that politics is too dirty for us to get involved, should go and run for office and take responsibility. Because when that happens, slowly we will now have more accountable leadership.
Let me have Funmi's view on that. Funmi, we can't all be in politics, but there's a point, though, that good people shy away from politics.
Because they know it won't work and they don't want to fool themselves. And these arguments, unfortunately, I belong to a generation that has known nothing but protests and discord in the Nigerian public space. I had this argument in 1999 when many people were saying, you've got to go into government. And a lot of the people who are today in government, you were right in what you said earlier. So that solution you profiled itself has been proven to not work because a lot of the good people, a lot of the people who are in government today, actually this government has more than any government before it. People have track record of activism, of being genuinely concerned about Nigeria, who wanted to change Nigeria. You're right, something is wrong in the system. It's not by, okay, they come and go and they go into the system. No, you're right on one hand to call for many people to engage with the system, and not only by becoming politicians. It's not just even in politics, it's the same in Nigeria's business economy. It's the same in it's everywhere. Okay. It's the people who need to become more involved. I think actually it's the Nigerian people who need to wake up on every level.
The risk we run is to say that we're not making any improvement. That's
we are. I'm not saying that.
We're making
some improvement, and we're also getting worse.
Nigeria is the #1 location for foreign direct investment.
Okay, I agree.
It is not something you sniff at.
Okay, let me bring. We're going to have our in-house person, Ngozi, your lady Ngozi, to come and talk about what's going on social media on this program. But first, we've got a caller on the line, if our caller is still there. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Oh, good evening. Sorry about it, because my cell is a bit delayed.
Hello, good evening. Can you go ahead and make your contribution, please?
Okay, yeah. My name is Anthony. I'm calling from Kent.
Okay. Go ahead, Anthony. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we should just
Can you, Anthony? Can you reduce the volume of your TV set, please?
I'll do that.
Yeah, quickly, please.
Okay, I've just done that.
Okay, now.
What we should actually be thinking about is how far the government have come.
Okay.
And, I mean, their agenda, they have at hand, and how going to continue their progress. Because all these things, the booking, whatever they call themselves are doing, it's just a distraction of the government.
Okay.
I mean, how many times are we going to say this president that's in at the moment is not it, we should vote in another person, and this one is not it, we should vote in another. I mean, we are tired. We should concentrate and actually see how far they've gone or what they're doing.
All right. Because thanks for your call. Tonye Princewill. Before Ngozi comes in to tell us about what's going on social media in this case, are you satisfied with the reaction, the conduct of Nigerians, both online, offline, about this case? They took the initiative. They took it away from government.
No, I'm very happy. Listen, it's easy to think that because I'm here and the position I'm taking, I'm not happy about it. I'm very happy about the protest. I'm very happy about the voicing out. But I know something about the difference about being effective and just being present. And I know that what is needed is to move us from protest to actual progress.
Okay.
And the problem is that we always protest and leave progress to the politicians. I don't think we should do that. What should happen at this point now is that you need to take it one step further, because it could happen to the children of tomorrow. And I think if the children of tomorrow knew that we're in this position and we could have done something about it, I would expect them to be unhappy with us that we didn't. And that's the only difference. I'm happy about the protest. I'm happy about the international attention. But I want us to slowly move away from the finger pointing at government to saying, okay, Boko Haram, you're the enemy here, and government, this is what we want to happen.
For me, and we're still waiting on Ngozi because I'm really interested in what's going on the social media. I can see quite a lot of activities. For me, what is this narrative, about saying Nigerians are not condemning Boko Haram enough? That is not what I see on social media.
I don't understand that either. I mean, I've not seen the average Nigerian who wants to embrace Boko Haram. Nigerians are terrified and outraged at Boko Haram. Average Nigerian would physically get behind their president if their president acted like a president. And I did not say protest is where it's at. I said protest is part of the process the process of securing your democracy or whatever form of government you choose. There's protest on one hand, there's civil society, there's all sorts of things. Actually the protest needs, because now you say, oh, I don't mind, the protest is nice. Actually, everybody supports the protest now because it has become cool. It has become cool. Publicly,
I've been supporting it from day one.
I'm not talking about you. Didn't Tonye Okupe say that he wishes he had worn a red T-shirt onto an...
If he had known, he was
So it's now cool, okay? So that's not even the point. The protest was... Usually protest is a cry for help. When people protest, they're like children. They've got to the stage where they are crying for help. People would not need to get to a point where they are crying for help if we don't have... there's been several cases, there's been several things that we can take up with our government. And I know that this government is just is the next continuum of what has started a long time ago. So it's not, I'm not saying, okay, they are the ones that started.
Listen, we agree.
That's not the point. Let me finish. So what I'm saying is, do not demonize dissent. There's a tendency to demonize that. And do not, there's a tendency to do that. And then when you say we should profile solution, Nigerians have profiled their solution. They want to get behind the president, show leadership. And then if they want to either throw them out or keep them, that's their business. That come 2015. That's what democracy is for. If you don't want it to try, we shouldn't be afraid of changing leadership. We change it 50 million times until we get to the But the system is what matters.
I'm getting
about that. We have.
That's what we need.
It seems you both have a point of agreement. We're going to take a short break and play you some clips, and we're not going to take phone calls when we get back because I want Tonye and Funmi Yoda to just show some light on this issue. So please stay tuned.
That terror will not stop the world from moving, terror will not stop Africa from moving, terror will not stop Nigeria from moving. And let me use this opportunity to thank your home government, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, President of the United States of America, the President of France, of course the President, the Premier of China. These are countries that are willing, have shown commitment that they will come and help to solve the unique problems we have, the issue of terror, especially relating to this disappearance of some young girls in a particular secondary school. I believe we'll be able to unravel it. I believe with the assistance and investment we are making now, we'll be able to bring terror to an end in Nigeria.
And how do you think you'll be able to bring the girls home?
Yes, of course they will, because we want to really know what happens in that secondary school that particular day. Up to this time, nobody has been able to give us a clear picture of what happened. And we'll be able, our satellite technology in Nigeria is still limited. These other powerful countries, their satellite technology is quite robust. So through their own system, we'll be able to know exactly what happened.
And you mentioned that terrorism is the greatest issue facing Nigeria.
It's the greatest in terms of security. It's the greatest for now.
On this channel, Sky 182. Don't miss the debates by Nigerians and friends of Nigeria on issues surrounding Nigeria from around the world. My name is Fi Yoda.
Buy your Nigerian merchandise. www.nigeria100.com. Contact us on +44 0208 808 8800.
Hi, welcome to the countdown for 100 most influential personalities that are Nigerians, because this is specifically for Nigeria. We welcome your nomination. Please feel free to send it to us, whoever it is, be it a private sector leader, it could be the Aliko Dangote, the Femi Otedolas, yes, of course, they're Nigerians, it could be Goodluck Jonathan, of course, he's the president.
Welcome back to Ben Television. It's been an interesting day today. We're talking about the girls in Nigeria, and on social media a lot is happening talking about this issue. So we've got Ngozi Gale in the studio to just give us an idea of what's going on online and back home in Nigeria. Ngozi, what's happening, please?
Hi, thanks, Kayode. Yes, it's been a very engaging conversation. According to our tweet fans, they're saying that they're loving completely what is happening between Tonye Princewill and Funmi Iyanda on today's show. So far, the conversation on Twitter has been agreement mostly with Tonye Princewill and Funmi that they're both making complete and accurate sense. One of the things that's been going on, as a matter of fact, is about the protest. Loads of people have been saying that Nigerians are normally used to saying things like, it doesn't matter, go back to our normal everyday lives. But currently, everybody's now agreeing that protest is the way to go. And they've also agreed a lot with Funmi, saying that without social media and the impact that this hashtagging of Bring Back Our Girls has had, Nigerian government would not have been able to do anything as much as they've done so far. So a lot more has been going on. You know, Tony, some people are saying that you should agree and accept that your man has failed. Some people are saying that they don't think that Nigerians are the ones who should be doing something to proffer solution to the problems that's happening so far, that it should be the man who was elected, which is the president. So all in all, it seems like the criticism still lies with the president and the government as a whole for not doing anything in particular to help, according to people. And also the protest that's going to happen tomorrow at Nigerian Embassy is also tweeting like crazy. So if you want to get involved, hashtag Bring Back Our Girls, and follow my handle, Girl Ngozi or Kayode at Ogundamisi. Excuse me. And I'll pass it back to Kayode. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.
Yeah, thanks, Ngozi, for that. And that's the conversation is still going on online. We encourage Nigerians in London. We are more than 1.5 million in the UK. We need to bring people out tomorrow, Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. right in front of Nigerian embassy. If it rains, snow, or even if the girls come down flying, we need to stand for those girls. We need to take time off work. We just need to let the world know that London, which has the highest number of concentration of Nigerians in Europe, can speak loudly for our girls who are missing, and also show support for the president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces has been raised by Tonye Princewill. That, look, Mr. President, we acknowledge the fact that you are a bit confused as to what you do. We are here to give you some ideas. So, Tonye, before we go back to Tonye, I just want to take the very, very last caller on this show before you are accused of being anti-democrat. So, good evening. If we have the caller on the line, we would want you to please tune down the volume of your TV set because it causes serious interruption to our live broadcast. So go ahead, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yes, my name is Princewill.
All right, go ahead, make your contribution, please, quickly.
Yes, I'd like to say, if you look into that Boko Haram leader talking, you see my big America.
Yeah.
America behind you. So how do we say that it's not internal energy back in this people? If you look into that person talking, you see, I'm working for brother here, my name is Hugh. But we have been watching these people. You see that there's a true backing from the government official already, and also the Boko Haram. So there's these kids who are adopted. You see, a lot of things are happening into the government. There's a great sabotage.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your call. We really appreciate, and that's going to be our last caller for today. And this question to Tonye quickly. I've seen Shekau display different kinds of armored cars. I'm not talking about armored personnel carriers. I'm talking about tanks that can bomb places. Different kinds. I've seen a Russian made, I've seen a Czech made, I've seen a US made in 3 different videos. And even an anti-terrorist website confirmed that these guys have strong armories and we've got borders. What is wrong with our security apparatus, in the country? What do you think will be the thoughts of the president?
Look, I look at government, especially in this kind of scenario, like a football goalkeeper. When a goal is scored, everybody will blame him. You forget the saves. We don't know. We've seen the negative. But for all we know, there may have been some positive foiled attempts. Those APC carriers could be in Libya.
No, they are not APC carriers. They are armored tanks.
Yes, armored personnel carriers.
No, they are not armored personnel carriers.
Armored
they are tanks. They are armored. They are tanks that can.
What I want you to understand is that they could be in Mali, taking those pictures. They could be in Libya,
seriously
taking those pictures. Of course.
No.
And they can post them on YouTube from anywhere in the world. For all we know, the man that is making that statement is not in Nigeria. All I'm saying is, let us not assume.
Tonye, I have to.
Let's not assume.
I have to interrupt you here because.
Let's not assume.
No, I want to.
The point I'm trying to make is that we don't know their location. But what we must understand is Nigerians are not foolish people.
Yeah.
Just as we have very smart Nigerians, there are 1 or 2 of them in government. Okay. I suspect there are 1 or 2 of them in security agencies. They will get to the bottom of it.
Okay, now because we're going to round up some. Funmi, is this not? I am getting a sense of self-denial in government when we say Boko Haram invaded barracks and we just claim it's probably in Mali and Togo. And I'm not referring to Tonye here. I've had this repeated by Tonye Okukpe and the likes that those things taking place are not in Nigeria.
Let me tell you a little story. During Occupy Nigeria, I was on the streets filming as well as protesting. And when I talk with passion and pain, I don't talk for us. And you know what I mean? Yeah. The average middle-class Nigerian or upper-class Nigerian, given half a trouble, will leave that country. I'm talking for those who don't have a choice. A lot of those people, I remember them saying to me that they did vote for President Jonathan.
They did.
They trusted that the way he spoke meant that maybe he was closer to them, so he understood. So the point that I'm trying to make with this is that they can sense the denial. There's denial coming from government about all of these issues. That's why people are afraid.
The fact that the APC picture could have been done in Mali.
Fear. You know, why this conspiracy theory? Why not accept that we have a problem?
I would have to come in.
Why not accept that
we have to round up now, and we want to thank
Funmi. Not want to disclose the location.
We're going to continue this conversation.
You didn't ask about location. You asked about the kind of how do they have that?
I want to thank you both for coming on the program. Funmi, it's a pleasure. Thanks for coming in here, and we hope to have you again.
They should stop
viewers, thanks for watching. It's been a very good night. But it's been a bad night for our country. We pray we find our girls.
It's
good
been
night.
A bad few years
and God bless Nigeria.
Few decades.
In terms of rescuing these girls that have disappeared from one of our secondary schools. Of course, the Premier of China has been with us since yesterday for a state visit, and the government of China have promised to assist us, and I believe that assistance will come almost immediately. The government of the United States of America, the United Kingdom, and France have also spoken with me and have expressed their commitment to help us resolve this
Thursdays
crisis.
On this channel, Sky 182. Don't miss the debate by Nigerians and